Okay, first, before you run the program, you need to use CCleaner, clean up your system, use MyDefrag, defrag your system, and maybe a reg clean if you have it. First of all, it'll ask you or if you want to do a rescue media. I suggest you go ahead and do this because the rescue media is kind of deceptive, but what it basically does is put the software in bootable form, so you're not running an operating system with this. Like, say you want to do an image of drive C. It's kind of hard to verify your drive C if it's always changing. You know, if you're there's log files or whatever's going on, you're always reading right into the hard drive. So I've just installed this on this computer, so let's go ahead and hit yes. We want to rescue media. Now PE 3.1, I think that's Vista. So let's go to advanced here. The Windows PE 3.1 is Vista, the 4.0 is Windows 7, and the 5.0 is Windows 8. At least that's what downloads. So let's just go ahead and just do them one by one. Now, before I do that, there is you could possibly have it already on your computer, what the file you need. But let me just go ahead and just start making the rescue media, because most people won't have it. So we'll just do Vista first. We'll hit OK. And I think what it's going to do is it's going to download. Okay. So we need to choose 32 or 64-bit. Of course, you have to, if you use the 64-bit, it has to be a 64-bit machine. So let's just do the 32-bit. It will have a default base, and then, of course, I could use a custom. Let me do that just to show you where, if you do have it, where it'd be located. We'll just go into Drive C, Windows, System 32, and in the recovery, I think it is, or recovery. Okay, recovery. There should be at least on this. It has winre.wim. That's for Windows Image, and that would be the file that you would generally use. Hopefully that's already on your computer, so if it's Windows 7, that's the file you would need. But I'm not going to use that file. I'm going to go ahead and have the program here download the correct file, and it's winpe.wim. So that's what they download. So let's just hit next. Okay, creating the rescue media will require 138 meg approximately. Click download to proceed, or browse for already downloaded zip file, blah 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 blah. So let's just hit download. So it's downloading the rescue media. It will put it in this folder. So I guess the branding, or the Vista, the 7, the 8, it's just for looks. I don't know if it has any more drivers than the others. So maybe you'll have to experiment with that yourself, see which you prefer. So it looks like it's mounting the image. Okay. Check that your rescue media can access your drives. If you are unable to access the source or target drives for your Restore, you may need additional drivers. Okay. It creates an ISO file. That's what we want. And then you just hit finish, and it's creating the rescue ISO. So what I would do here, it was I'd label it like Vista 32-bit Macrum Reflect rescue CD, and hit save. There, that's it. That's your rescue media is successfully created, and you can go ahead and burn that file, and there's your boot CD that has the software on it. So basically I have two hard drives on my computer. Drive C, and then I have a partition, a rescue partition, and then I have another hard drive in there, and these are both 80 gig hard drives. So I recommend, if you can possibly have a duplicate, same size, same kind of hard drive, it makes backups really easy, because all I'd have to do is just make an image backup onto this extra hard drive. So I don't have to attach any USB external hard drives or something of that nature to save my images in a safe place. I'll go into, and I just started doing this, go into the clone disk. Let me touch on that real quick. Clone disk, if I've got a little docking station for hard drives, SATA and PATA. So you can get those online for, I don't know what they go for, 30, 40, 50 bucks, somewhere in that range. So once you hook it up, it will show, and well, you also have to get a hard drive. So I've got a hard drive, and if I wanted to clone my drive C, my main computer, I just want to have an exact duplicate of drive C and any partition. Basically, I would have this docking station up, and I'd have an empty hard drive, and it has to be bigger. It has to be the same size or bigger than the hard drive you're cloning. And I've already cloned my hard drive by using this option in Macrum Reflect, and it was a 130 gig hard drive is my main computer. It took me 1 hour to clone, and I had 4 partitions total. It just took me 1 hour to do it with this software. So really fast, really efficient. I am so pleased with the clone disk option. Okay, that's what I'm using, and I recommend you do that to back up your computer, your desktop computer, that you cannot have fail or cannot lose your information, your main computer. So that's how I'm doing the operating system for my main computer, is the clone disk. But on this computer, if I just want to make an image, since I've got 2 identical hard drives in here, I can do that. Just make an image to the empty or extra hard drive, or if I've got a external USB hard drive, I can just have it go to there. and I've got a whole video on, after you boot. Let's go into image the disk. You have the check marks here. Let me zoom up on it. Drive C is the compact. That's the drive I'm going to clone. I'm sorry, make an image of. And here's a partition. Of course, it's labeled weird because this is drive C and that says drive E, but it's on the same hard drive. Okay, here the second disk is actually named drive D. So you can go into your computer and into your computer management and actually label these whatever you want. If you want to rename drive C and D for the same hard drive, I would recommend you do that before you continue with this back making an image. So if I just wanted the operating system files, which I think I'll do, I'll just uncheck mark the drive E. So I just want just the operating system because I've got a clone already of this. So let's just say I just want to make an image. So come down here, and right by the clone disk there's image this disk. So I would do that. Here, and it says the source, and then here it says I need to put a destination. So I've already got the folder drive D, which is my extra hard drive, and I just put image drive. That's where I'm going to save it, and it has its own naming scheme, and I haven't really fiddled around with that anymore. But that's kind of basically how you start this off. But there is some other settings that you can use. Let me see if I can find them here. I think it's edit defaults. Okay. You can choose compression level and intelligent sector copy is recommended, and that comes as standard. Basically what that does is it copies only disk sectors used by the file system, and the page file and the hibernation files are not copied to reduce the image size, which is great. File size, I don't really mess around with those. Verify file system, I do that manually. Priority is probably going to be set on highest. Log file, cloning, perform intelligent sector copy, verify file system, parse points, and shut down. Usually I don't like it to shut down right after it's finished. So those are some of the options. So let's go ahead and do the image. I might do another one about the clone disk, but it's basically similar to the image disk. So like I said, I'm just going to do drive C. I've already got it on the extra hard drive, and the naming scheme is just what it is. You hit next, and then it gives you kind of like a little summary of kind of what's all that's going on and stuff. And you have an advanced option down in the corner, right in the corner here. That has some of the advanced options that I showed you just a second ago. Compression, most of the time you won't need to change these, but it gives you a chance at this time to do some things. But I do recommend, if the naming scheme, okay, the naming scheme is going to have some kind of weird naming scheme, which is really obscure. So I like the fact that when you go to the advanced settings, options I should say, go to the comments section, and it says, let me zoom in on it, edit a brief comment to complement the backup being created. We recommend creating terse comments. For example, full C partition backup. Okay. That's what I like, and I just kind of discovered this just recently. I'm going to put like compact just something to identify the computer. If you've got a lot of computer backups, and if you save them in the same place, you might need to distinguish, okay, this is a compact and whatever model, the date, and any other information you want that distinguishes what this backup is for. If it's your first, or maybe I just want to put in just drive C because the other partition is not backed up, so maybe I want to put a comment like that in there. Okay, and then I'll just hit OK. So that should, in the image, it should be, the comments should be able to be accessed pretty easily. So I put my comments in and I'm ready. Just hit finish. But at this point you can go back and revisit some, change some settings and stuff. But I think I will use these settings and I'll hit finish. Okay, backup, save, options. I'm not going to run backup now. Save the backup as an XML file. Okay, I'm not exactly sure. I think what this does is make a like a default, and I think you'll be able, if you double click on this XML, it will perform this type of backup. So it would only do the drive C. So it's kind of like settings. So it will save your settings along with your comments, I think. And you can perform this backup several times or at any time you want just by clicking the My Backup, I do believe. So I'll just hit yes. I probably should name this My Backup C only. Drive C only. Something more descriptive. So it saved the XML file there. It says it's initializing. So it saved the backup. You can tell that, there's the weird code it uses, but the comments are in there. So that tells us what's going on. Made an image on the other drive. To restore, or actually we're not going to restore, we're just going to verify. I'm going to run you through the steps to verify. Now most of the time you will do this on the boot or the rescue CD. When you boot, you won't actually be running the software from the operating system. You'll be running it from a ROM, DVD-ROM, CD-ROM. But I'm going to go through the image anyway because you can see the graphics a little bit better I don't have the facility to actually record the boot process. So let's just go through it now. If you hover over, as you can see, if you hover over the image, it will show the comments and details about your backup. Now, if we just made this backup, and we can try to verify it when the operating system is up, but it will come back as not verified. But if we're doing this in the boot process, I'm pretty sure that this verify will work. And here are the buttons: browse image, restore image, and verify image. Once you get this made, go to verify image and hit verify. And it should go and say it's completely an exact copy, or if it's not, then you'll just have to try other means or try it again. So you can browse image, or I guess I should finish my thought there. The verify image, you'll never be able to make sure it's an exact copy unless you do this verify at this stage. Let's browse image. Now you can just click on, if you're in My Computer or Explorer and you just are browsing through to find this file, you can just double click on it and it will mount. It'll ask you to mount, and you pick a hard drive letter and it will mount the image, so you can browse, copy files, take files out, that kind of thing. But here it'll also let you browse image, and this is exactly what comes up if you just double click on the image. You want to check mark, okay, it's drive G. You can select it right here and then hit OK, and it will mount this image, and here it is. It makes a drive letter, and you can just go in there. Let me see if I can copy it to my download a file. Yep, it'll let you copy. Then if you are done, you can just right click and let me see, go to Macrum Reflect and then unmount Macrum Reflect image, and then it should disappear. Of course, there's restore image. I've never had to actually restore an image yet. Here's some other actions. Create incremental or differential. I think in the Pro version you have the incremental backups. So I think at the end of this video, it will actually, I'll go through the complete process of putting a rescue CD in, running the program from the boot up part of your computer, and go through the whole thing, verifying. The only thing I have not done is restore image, but hopefully you won't ever have to use that. Okay, I've got my XP up. I'm going to go through how to use your Macrum Reflect free boot CD to make an image of your hard drive. So let me shut this down. Let me say restart. And I've already got my disk in there, and I'll show you how to make the boot CD from the software later. But right now we've got this disk in. This is a Windows 8 boot CD. I've got a Vista 7 and 8 boot from CD. It said there, so I had to hit the space bar. So as it's loading up, this will take just a little bit. You can make Vista 7 and 8 boot CDs so far, or at least I have. I've got one in the DVD-ROM right now, And what it'll do is make, and what I want to do here is make an image of my hard drive C of my operating system. And how to do that is to use the boot CD here and to make a image of drive C. Now you can install the program on your desktop, but it isn't good at making an image of it and then verifying that it's an exact copy of your hard drive. So that's what we want to do, and that's what this boot CD does the best, is to make an image and then verify. So once this gets up and going, what it does is it searches for all the hard drives connected. And before, of course, this you boot this software, you either have to have an extra internal hard drive set up or a USB external hard drive, USB hard drive or something hooked up. So the software can recognize this other hard drive. Most of the time, that's what I use for my laptop. This computer is a HP 7960 I got in 2001, and it had, or I have, two identical hard drives, two identical 40 gig hard drives. And I'm going to make an image of drive C and then put and copy the image to the other empty or extra hard drive. So it's come up, and this is almost pretty much what it looks like on the desktop. So it has up here Quantum Fireball 40, is 40 gig, 37.26 gig. That's probably the free space, because the operating system itself only takes up about maybe, well, it's very small. I've got another partition, so it'll show all your partitions. The second one is an audio storage partition. And down below here is what I was talking about, the identical hard drive, 40 gig. So they're identical in every way, size and cylinder and all that good stuff. So this is where I want to put the image on. So I'll go up to C, and it's already check marked. Now you can image both. I've got a lot of stuff on this other partition, and all I really want is, I've spent a long time configuring the XP with drivers and stuff like that. So I just want an image of the operating system. That's basically all I'm doing. So down here, I think you can hit image disk, this link right here, or there's an actions right underneath drive C that says image this partition only or analyze file system. We'll just go ahead and image. So it kind of gives you the source, and you need to specify the target. So what we're going to do is we're going to go and pick the drive. So we hit that little button, and we go to extra HDD, extra hard disk drive, and we're just going to just put it in drive E. And I'm going to hit OK. And it has a naming scheme that's recommended already. So it's check marked, just the C, drive C, about 993 meg, it says there. So I'm going to go down here where the next button is, hit that. It gives us a summary, and then we hit finish. We can go back at this point. There's some advanced options, compression level, medium or high. I just keep it at what they're doing. Intelligent sector copy, copies only disk sectors used by the file system. Windows page file and suspend to disk. Hibernation files are not copied. This reduces the image size and backup time. Very good. And those are default. You can get into the file size, verify image. That's good to have, but I'm going to do it manually just to show you. So I'm going to hit OK, and then just hit the button down here that says finish, and then it'll start backing up. Okay, there's the screen. Of course, down here it has the overall progress, the priority. So high priority, that's set at. If you've got something else going on, I guess you can push this down to lower priority. On completion, it has no shutdown as the default. You can have it shut down, hibernate, or suspend, but I like to just put no shutdown. Okay, now I might at this point stop the video and just let this image complete, and I'll meet you back when it's finished. Or I might just keep talking and see if I missed anything. Okay, I'll move this a little bit. It's got some other tools up here. It's got a nice summary. I like the layout here. I don't know if I went into the disk image and the restore. When I verify, I'm going to go back into the restore tab. That's where you find the verify. So total sectors is just about 1 gig. So that's pretty small for a operating system. That's the way I like it. I can do multiple backups. If you're doing a whole hard drive, I would suggest you partition it and put your files where you need them in another partition just in case, or buy a desktop that has, maybe a 300 gig or maybe a solid state. That would be good. Smaller drive that you just need the operating system, and have other hard drives for your other important files. Okay. I'll tell you a little bit about the software. You can download these different boot versions, and Windows 8, 7, and Vista. And I'll get into that later. Okay, it's finished. Image completed successfully in 2 minutes and 33 seconds. And I don't believe for a second that that's going to be how long yours is going to take. But it's nice to do a quick video like this and not have to wait for an hour, which I have to do on some computers. So it just gives you a summary. Tells you the speed it was writing at, 73 megs a second. This is on an old 2001 computer, so let me hit close. Now, it's got the image on the extra hard drive, so we're just going to go to restore, and I need to find the date. I've got 3 backups here. The bottom one is the oldest, made back last month, and I did a test run of it today about 6:08, and it's 6:20 right now. So this is the one. The top one is the most recent. So what we're going to do is we're going to use this one. This is one we just did. I'm going to go over here. There's a group of 4 icons here. The red one with the check mark in it has verify image. That's the one we want. Gives you some summary up here, Windows XP Drive C. Okay, so we're going to verify this one right here. So we're going to hit verify, start verification process. So we're going to hit the button down here. It has cancel or verify. We're going to hit verify. And there's a % bar, which is nice. So what it's doing is it's looking at the hard drive and comparing it to the image that we just made. And we're already at 15%. So hopefully this only takes about a couple minutes, because I don't want this video to go too over the limit. The side has a summary, fix Windows boot problems. That's a nice feature. And when you're in your desktop, you can just click on this image, and I think you can just pull out files, individual files. Very nice. If you have that virtual desktop installed, which I recommend you do. It has Virtual XP. I might do another video on that, getting that software up and running, because I've got Windows 7 and it's got a Virtual XP operating system on it I can kind of play around with, do videos, or some software only runs on XP that I use. So I got to use that. So we're 75% of the way complete. And that was the whole main purpose, is to verify that these are carbon copies and that they're verified. Okay, image successfully verified. So that means, yeah, it has a little OK down here. So that's a good image. So I can hit close. And at this point, I could restore this image and nothing would change. Browse for an image file. Let me go up to here. I didn't really go through the toolbar. Backup image, or backup menu, image local drives, backup files, restore, deploy new hardware, fix boot problems, unsupported devices, explore image, detach image. Basically, that's pretty much. Let me see. Okay, there we go. If you hover it over it, it'll kind of give you the name, and that's kind of nice. You can put comments on there. I didn't know that. I wonder where you do that at. Anyway, I better stop this video before I run out of time. I think I will do the desktop version, but basically all you'd have to do is just go through and boot this software up, make an image and verify, and I would say you're good to go. If you're using an external hard drive, that's a good place to put them. I'd also, when these weird files with all these numbers and stuff, just put a text file with the same name down there and tell them, okay, it's the HP 7960 done at this date, and just kind of, you can label it that way. Or it kind of seems like there's comments in here. So I double clicked. It didn't. Let me see other actions. I wonder what way there is to put comments. Anyway, I'll leave it there.